Ms. Shilpa. Thank you so much. All right. I think we have a sign. Let me also give this emoticons. I love using these emoticons. So yes, I think we can start. Dr. Rajpopat, you're ready?
Yes, yes, Dr.
Yeah,
I'm
and
ready.
we have one hand raised of Dr. Jacinta. If you have a question right now, you want to ask her, or should we first finish with our session?
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Regarding yesterday's session, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm very new to this concept, ma'am. I learned the basics which was taught yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and it was an eye-opener session. And looking forward for this today's session also, ma'am.
Oh, thank you so much. So glad to
Thank
hear this from you. Yeah. And yesterday also we had very good interaction. I'm sure we have Dr. Pallavi is here and Mr. Chandramohan is also here. I mean, we really look forward to a very interactive session, learning more from you all and sharing what we have through this platform. So once again, thank you to our uh, uh, partners, St. Mary's College from Hyderabad and of course NLD here. Yes, Dr. Vikas, I think we are ready. Our participants are here. It's 7:04 and we are around 31. I think it's good way to start now, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Jyotiba.
Thanks.
Let's begin today's session. The title of this today's session is IKS application in social science education. And I remember asking the same question of IKS application in social sciences to Professor P. Mahadevan sir when Dr. Nidhi and I attended a residential program which was conducted by Dr. Mahadevan. Uh, and the entire PPT that I'm going to present today is something that, the vision, the insight that we have received from Professor P. Mahadevan and his group, and again, as I mentioned yesterday, from the Kapil Kapoor's group, the entire PPT is based on the insight that we have received from these groups and the experts that we happen to meet. Let's begin today's session. First of all, um, let's understand what social science does. Social science actually helps us explaining how society works and what it means to be human. So social science actually finds it informs public policies, education program, design, marketing strategies, and many such other endeavors, which is related to life. We talked about opera vidya yesterday, and social science, the entire social science is all about the opera. Now, in this light of understanding of social science, let us look at all the key points which were actually mentioned by Kautilya. In this slide, actually, the Adobe program didn't write the Sanskrit words very rightly, but no issue. The first one is Vidya. Vidya is creation of knowledge, new knowledge, right? We know, all of us know that Vidya is knowledge. So Vidya is about creating the new knowledge. Then the most important thing which is there in the second state, that is called Vivek. Vivek is actually the wisdom to use that knowledge at the right time and at the right place with the right purpose in inside. So first one is Vidya, second one is Vivek, and then we have Vichakshanta. That is the skill set. Because if you have knowledge, if you have that Vivek buddhi to use that knowledge, but if you don't implement, if you don't work on it, then the knowledge is not used. So Vichakshanta is expected to use the knowledge in a right manner for the life. That is what Kautilya mentioned about the education. He mentioned that these are the outcomes or the characteristics of a graduate. And IKS tells us the fundamental of the knowledge. The knowledge starts with the spirit of inquiry. Now, the moment we start that inquiry, we start gaining the knowledge. And then, once we get the knowledge, it is our responsibility that we take knowledge with gratitude and we use that knowledge in our day-to-day life. So, this entire process is all about the education. But if we understand why to be educated, why we need knowledge, then we have very wonderful concept. This can be promoted worldwide. First one, you all have heard about it, that is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. So the entire universe is nothing but our own family. And second one is Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Again, this is the desire of us to make everyone happy. All persons, all the living and non-living things get happiness. This is what we look for. Then let's understand the classification of the knowledge in the words of Kautilya. Kautilya talked about four classification of the knowledge. The first one is tri, right? Three is three, right? So the trio of fundamental sciences are considered or categorized in this category that is called Tri-Vidya. And what it includes all the hard and soft sciences, which is the part of the Vijnana Vidya science, right? Then we have second classification, and that is about the commerce. First one is about the hard science, second one is about the commerce, and it is called in Sanskrit, it is called as Varta. Because Varta, we also, use this word Varta in order to communication, dialogue is there. But here Varta, the meaning of the word Varta is nothing but the commerce. So it includes production, distribution, and creation of the knowledge to the trading and other needs. So whether it is product, whether it is service, everything is considered in the Varta classification of the knowledge. Then third one is considered as the Dandaniti according to Kautilya. What is that? Dandaniti is comprised of politics, society, state, security. All these things are considered as part of the Dandaniti. And in our social sciences, probably, social science, the actual or the fundamental social sciences starts with this category, Dandaniti. Because justice, the societal system, how the state works, politics, all these things are very much part of the social sciences that we understand today. Then the fourth and last one is Anvikshiti. That is the science of all branches of learning. Again, it covers mathematics, it also covers logic, languages, we talked about it yesterday. Even all sort of arts are also there. So this is the fourth classification of knowledge Anvikshiti. Right? Before we move into the languages in social science of basically, let's again watch a video. Again, a beautiful video in the
Modern science goes outside. It tries to understand what's underlying objects, why people behave, why people think. It's always looking outside to see those fundamental principles. Maharishi Vedic science includes that means of gaining knowledge. It's called the objective means of gaining knowledge. But it includes, Maharishi Vedic science includes a subjective means of gaining knowledge. It's part of a tradition of knowledge, the Vedic tradition of knowledge from India. And rather than looking outside to understand life, the The masters in the Vedic tradition looked inside. They actually said, what's underlying my thoughts? Where are my thoughts coming from? Where's the creativity? Where's the intelligence of my thoughts? Who am I? Am I my thoughts? Am I my body? Am I my possessions? My social status? Who am I? And what they found is underlying every thought is a field of intelligence. Our thoughts are like waves, specific expressions of an underlying field or reservoir of intelligence. And they found that the experience of this reservoir of intelligence, of creativity, was the experience of their most universal nature. Everything would settle down. Your thoughts, your evaluations, your perceptions, your images, your visualizations, your intentions, your mental chatter, everything would settle down, but something would remain. And that's just the experience of I am, as being. And this experience is found to be not only underlying all of our mental activity, but that experience is found to be the fundamental level of life, of intelligence underlying all of life. So what Maharishi Vedic science has done has taken the farthest understanding from physics, that underneath every piece of matter is a non-material field of intelligence, and the experience from the Vedic masters that underlying every thought is a field of intelligence, and found them to be the same. So it puts those together. So what you get in Maharishi Vedic science is the understanding of who you are, how you relate to the environment, of the most that you can do and be.
Vikas, we can't hear you.
Now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now, yes.
Okay. Before going towards the language part, let me elaborate a bit more about the Anviksiki. And if we translate the Sanskrit word in English, then the meaning is science of inquiry. So there are two words actually, that is anu, that is atom, and iksiki. Iksiki is inquirer, thinker, researcher, examiner, or logician. These are the set of meaning of the word iksiki. So the term that is, when made a combined word, it has several meanings. First one is the person who inquires about the Atma, or who goes for the Atma Vidya. Atma Vidya is nothing but the science of the soul. Then second layer is philosophy and logic. So, and Anviksiki is also, it leads us to the Atma Vidya, it leads us to the philosophy and logic, and same way, the entire scientific thinking or that scientific temper, that inquiry or the research that we academicians keep talking about, all this is part of the Anviksiki. But it is not just related to that only. The self-knowledge, the enlightenment, and the path of self-realization is also very much part of the Anviksiki. So these are the four classification according to Kautilya, which is there in our Indian system. Now let's talk about the language part, Indian languages in education. So we keep talking about the roti, kapda, or makan. But I mean, in contemporary times, we have also added internet in this list of roti, kapda, makan. But language is very much crucial. Language is always there. Be it communication, be it expression of identity, culture, imaginative expression, or the emotional release. Our Indian tradition, our Indian knowledge goes one step further, and it says language is nothing but light to the light. What it says, language is light to the light. Light exists, the light exists in the life if there is a language. And thinking is impossible without this life. Are you getting my point? So language is necessary even for the thinking. And no knowing can exist without this life, this language. And we cannot express ourselves if we don't have the language. So in our tradition, we keep talking about the Saptahi Brahma. That is, again, the word, the language is Brahma only. And our scriptures also say that if Sapta is not used in a proper manner, then Sapta becomes Brahma. Brahm, not Brahm. Brahm is the ultimate knowledge, but it also creates illusion if language is not properly used. And if we look at the social science subjects, right? If If we talk about the subject range of social sciences, then we have several subjects, right? Anthropology is there, archaeology is there, economics is there, geography is there, history, law, linguistics, politics, psychology, sociology, all these subjects are very much part of the social sciences. And the larger umbrella is social science, but all these subjects are there with us in the social. So I have listed all these subjects which I referred, and it is the part of the Indian corpus. In social sciences is very much part of this corpus. When we discuss about the sociology, we discuss about the structure of a group, structure of organization, and at large, we can say that it talks about the society. In the sociology, the covering area is very vast. It covers the uh, crime, it covers the religion of the segment, the community. It talks about it, it includes the family system, it also includes the societal stability as well as the radical changes that happens in the society. So if if we talk in a nutshell, socio-political structures, then the ethical framework of the society, all these shape the uh, ancient Indian society, and it is part of the sociology. And if we talk about the Vedic sciences and the social harmony, in the beginning part only, I talked about two axioms which is very much fundamental in our system. That is, the entire world is family, and we always wish for the happiness of everybody. And if we now go into the Vedic science corpus, then there are again several um, several vidyas are there, which is part of the Vedic science. Among them, first one is Jyotish. That is Vedic astrology and the science of time. When we say Jyotish, it is not to predict the future, but Jyotish was considered as the science of time, right? Then we have Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the science of healing or the healthy living. Then we have Tantra. Again, Tantra is considered as some sort of dark knowledge, but it contains all about the knowledge of the universal patterns of the energies that include the mantras, and the sacred myths. Then we have Vastu Shastra there. That is the science of the space and the placement. Then we have Siksha, that is the phonetics and phonology. Then we have Chandas, that is meter, science of meter. Vyakarana is grammar. Then Nirukta is etymology. And Kalpa, that is the ritual part of our corpus. the philosophical foundation we mentioned in the briefly in the beginning part, but Indian knowledge systems is all about Gyan, Vigyan, Jivan Darshan, which is there in all the observation, in the experimentation, and in the analysis. All these have influenced education, arts, law, and all the other areas. Even we know a bit about the schools of Indian philosophy, right? Which are these schools? Vedanta school is there, Vaisheshya is there, Nyay, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimansa, Jainism is there, Buddhism, and Saiv. These are the main Indian philosophical schools. And these schools actually brought new interpretation to the original Vedic teaching that leads us to the diversification of all the Indian philosophical patterns. These schools, they are very much different, distinct from each other, but in all these schools, we can find the underlying harmony, which is the understanding of truth. So, in all the text of Indian philosophy, we can have the discussion on the ontology, that is metaphysics, that is Brahman and Atman, then Sunyata and Anantata, then there are reliable means of knowledge that is considered in today's terminology, which is considered as the epistemology, or in Indian system, it is considered as the pramanas. Then we have the reach value system. So ontology is there, epistemology is there, and the entire value system is there with us. Plurality is two or many ways of doing different things, right? This is the definition of plurality. Now, pluralism is an established feature of life in India, and it plays an important role in our culture. We have always actually, we have intense pride about for our Ajanta caves, we have pride for our Kasi temple, we have also the pride for our Taj Mahal, and other such architectures that also includes the golden temple of Amritsar. It seems that these monuments or these architecture represent actually different faiths, but there is actually the sense of emotional experience of being Indian in all these monuments, in all these architectures. So it tells us about the plurality of the faith. In India, we always considered Kshetra, that is the region, the place where actually I live, and the Desh, that is the nation, our own country, represented two different identities, but it is part of each other. So in that sense, that plurality has always been there with us. Now, if we talk about the coexistence and confrontation, then the plurality gives us actually the strength to coexist at the same time and without losing our own identity and exploring the life by our own ways. So that is the entire tradition of diversity and pluralism that we see in our culture. In Indian knowledge system, we have, our culture, our society, and our values, customs, and tradition. It combined, all these things combined makes us the way we are today. So, it has also all these things, customs, our values, our culture, our society. It gives us the sense of community, respect for elders, and a sense of duty towards the society, right? This is our tradition. Now, before continuing my one-way lecture, let me show you a video again. This is actually a long video, but you surely will enjoy it.
से अति प्राचीन हिंदू धर्म ग्रंथ, पोथी पुराण और हिंदू आध्यात्मिक कथाओं में कई बार 14 विद्या और 64 कलाओं का वर्णन किया जाता है और इसे सुनने या पढ़ने के पश्चात बहुतों में इनके बारे में संपूर्ण जानकारी पाने की जिज्ञासा होती है। 14 विद्याओं का गठन 4 वेद, 4 उपवेद और 6 वेदांग से होता है। प्राचीन काल से जिन 14 विद्या और 64 कलाओं का वर्णन किया जाता है वे इस प्रकार हैं। 4 वेद इस प्रकार है। 1 ऋग्वेद। ऋग्वेद संहिता ऋग्वैदिक वाङ्मय का मंत्र भाग है। इसमें 1017 सूक्त हैं। इसे विश्व का प्राचीनतम ग्रंथ माना जाता है। 2 यजुर्वेद। यजुर्वेद में यज्ञ से संबंधित विधियां और यज्ञों कर्मों में प्रयोग किए जाने वाले मंत्रों का विस्तृत वर्णन किया गया है। यज्ञ के अलावा तत्व ज्ञान का वर्णन है। तत्व ज्ञान अर्थात रहस्यमयी ज्ञान, ब्रह्मांड, आत्मा, ईश्वर और पदार्थ का ज्ञान, यह वेद गद्यमय है। 3 सामवेद। चारों वेदों में सामवेद का महत्व सर्वाधिक है। साम शब्द का अर्थ है गान। सामवेद भारत के प्राचीनतम ग्रंथ वेदों में से एक है और यह गीत संगीत प्रधान वेद ग्रंथ है। प्राचीन आर्यों द्वारा सामगान किया जाता था। सामवेद चारों वेदों में आकार की दृष्टि से सबसे छोटा है।
सर, आपके हिसाब से आजकल लोग सबसे ज्यादा हेल्थ मिस्टेक क्या कर रहे हैं?
देखिए, मेरे हिसाब से दिन में 24 घंटे होते हैं और उसमें से मिनिमम 7 आवर्स टू 9 आवर्स आपको सोना है। अब
4 अथर्ववेद। अथर्ववेद संहिता हिंदू धर्म के पवित्रतम और सर्वोच्च धर्म ग्रंथ वेदों में से चौथे स्थान पर आता है। अथर्ववेद के 2 पाठों शौनक और पैदपलद में संचरित हुए लगभग सभी स्तोत्र ऋग्वेद के स्तोत्रों के छदों में रचित हैं। अथर्ववेद का विद्वान चारों वेदों का ज्ञाता माना जाता है। 4 उपवेद इस प्रकार है। 1 अर्थशास्त्र। यह प्राचीन भारतीय हिंदू ग्रंथ है जो शासन कला, आर्थिक और सैन्य रणनीति के बारे में ज्ञान प्रदान करता है और विष्णुगुप्त को इसके लेखक के तौर पर जाना जाता है, जो कौटिल्य के नाम से भी जाने जाते हैं। 2 धनुर्वेद। धनुर्वेद शब्द की उत्पत्ति धनुष और ज्ञान इन 2 शब्दों से हुई है, जिसका शाब्दिक अर्थ है धनुर्विद्या का विज्ञान। 3 गंधर्ववेद। यह प्रदर्शन कलाओं पर आधारित एक प्राचीन भारतीय ग्रंथ है। इसमें रंगमंच, नृत्य और संगीत कलाओं का समावेश किया गया है। 4 आयुर्वेद। आयुर्वेद या आयुर्वेदिक चिकित्सा भारत की पारंपरिक चिकित्सा पद्धति है। आयुर्वेद शब्द आयुष और वेद से बना है जो जीवन विज्ञान को दर्शाता है। 6 वेदांग इस प्रकार है। 1 व्याकरण। बोली भाषा में शब्दों का उपयोग कैसे और किस तरह किया जाए यह दर्शाता शास्त्र ज्ञान। 2 ज्योतिष। ग्रह, नक्षत्र और अन्य खगोलीय पिंडों का अध्ययन तथा कालचक्र को समझने की विद्या के विषय को ज्योतिष विज्ञान कहा जाता है। 3 निरुक्त। वेदों में वर्णित कठिन शब्दों का अर्थ समझाने वाला शास्त्र। 4 कल्प। धार्मिक अनुष्ठान, व्रतों, विधि विधान तथा कर्मकांड का वर्णन करने वाला शास्त्र। 5 छंद। शब्दों को काव्यात्मक रूप में ढालकर गान रूप प्रदान करना। 6 शिक्षा। शिक्षण देना, सीखना, अध्ययन और अध्यापन। 64 कलाएं इस प्रकार हैं। 1 अभिधान कोश छंदो ज्ञान। शब्दों
So this part of the video was all about the corpus we have been discussing for 2 days. Now let's understand the classification of all the kala, that is art. In the Western thought, there are actually 6 kala, and 7th one was considered, cinema was considered as the 7th art. But in India, we have 64 arts. And once you will go through the list of the 64 kala, you will be amazed that we have considered each and everything, important everything as part of these kala. This is very interesting. You will love it.
और छंदों की ज्ञान कला। 2 वास्तुविद्या। घरों, भवनों, महलों हैं। 1 अभिधान कोश छंदो ज्ञान। शब्दों और छंदों की ज्ञान कला। 2 वास्तुविद्या। घरों, भवनों, महलों का निर्माण करने की कला। 3 बाल क्रीड़ा कर्म। बच्चों का मनोरंजन करने की कला। 4 चित्र शब्दापूप भक्ष्य विपाक क्रिया। खाना बनाना, स्वादिष्ट भोजन की किस्में तैयार करने की कला। 5 पुस्तक वाचन। काव्यालंकार साहित्य ग्रंथ पढ़ने की कला। 6 पट्टिका वेत्र वनकल्प नवर शुभ वेद आदि से खटिया के लिए कपड़ा बुनने की कला। 7 वैनायकी विद्या ज्ञान अनुशासन शिष्टाचार और विनय में निपुण बनने की कला। 8 व्यायामिकी विद्या ज्ञान व्यायाम के बारे में शारीरिक और वैज्ञानिक ज्ञान प्राप्त करने की कला। 9 वैजापिकी विद्या ज्ञान दूसरों पर विजय प्राप्त करने की कला। 10 शुकसारिका प्रलापन पक्षियों की बोली भाषा को जानने और समझने की कला। 11 पानक रस और रागसव योजना शराब और पेय पदार्थों को बनाने की कला। 12 धतुवद धातु विज्ञान कच्चे और मिश्र धातु का पृथक्करण करने की कला। 13 दुर्वाच योग कठिन शब्दों की व्याख्या करना और निश्चित रूप से अर्थ निकालने की कला। 14 आकर ज्ञान खानों और खनिज विज्ञान की कला। 15 काव्य समस्या पूर्ति आधी अधूरी कविता को पूर्ण रूप देने की कला। 16 भाषा ज्ञान देशी और विदेशी विभिन्न भाषाओं का ज्ञान आत्मसात करने की कला। 17 चित्रयोग चित्र बनाना और उनमें रंगों को भरने की कला। 18 कायाकल्प वृद्ध व्यक्ति को युवा बनाना या उसे अपनी कला कौशल से युवा जैसा दिखाने की कला। 19 माल्य ग्रंथ विकल्प कपड़ों का सही विकल्प बनाने की कला। 20 वृक्षायुर्वेद योग बाग उपवन उद्यान बनाना तथा पेड़ पौधे जड़ी बूटियों द्वारा चिकित्सा या चिकित्सा उपचार का अभ्यास करने की कला। 21 आकर्षण क्रीड़ा दूसरे को प्रलोभित या आकर्षित करने की कला। 22 कौचुमार योग किसी कुरूप व्यक्ति को साज श्रृंगार प्रसाधन द्वारा सुंदर बनाने की कला। 23 हस्तलाघव हाथ से शिल्पकला बनाने की कला। 24 प्रहेलिका कविता के माध्यम से कूट प्रश्न पहेलियों को बनाने और सुलझाने की कला। 25 प्रतिमाला स्मृति और कौशल के परीक्षण के रूप में अंताक्षरी में माहिर बनने की कला। 26 गंधयुक्ति खुशबूदार सुगंधित गंध लेप आदि निर्माण करने की कला। 27 यंत्र मात्रिका विभिन्न यंत्रों का निर्माण करने की कला। 28 अत्तर विकल्प फूलों से अर्क या इत्र बनाने की कला। 29 संपाठ है दूसरों की बात सुनना और वही बात बिल्कुल उसी ढंग से दोहराने की कला। 30 धारण मात्रिका यादाश्त को बढ़ाने और वृद्धिंगत करने की कला। 31 छलीक योग छल से धोखा देने की कला। 32 वस्त्रगोपन फटे कपड़ों की सिलाई करने की कला। 33 मणि भूमिका जमीन पर मोतियों से विविध रचनाएं बनाने की कला। 34 द्यूत क्रीड़ा जुआ खेलने की कला। 35 पुष्पशकटिका निमित्त ज्ञान प्राकृतिक संकेतों और लक्षणों के आधार पर भविष्य बताने की कला। 36 माल्यग्रथन पुष्पमाला माला हार गजरा बनाने की कला। 37 मणिराग ज्ञान रंग के आधार पर रत्नों की पहचान करने की कला। 38 मेषकुक्कुट लावक युद्ध विधि मुर्गी बकरा सांपनेवले आदि प्राणियों की लड़ाई लगाने की कला। 39 विशेष कच्छेद ज्ञान माथे पर लगाए जाने वाले तिलक के सांचे बनाने की कला। 40 क्रिया विकल्प किसी वस्तु की क्रिया के प्रभाव को उलट देने की कला। 41 मानसी काव्य क्रिया त्वरित और तत्परता से कविता रचने की कला। 42 आभूषण भोजन शरीर को सोने चांदी या मोती से सजाने की कला। 43 केश शेखर पीड़ ज्ञान मुकुट बनाना और बालों में फूल संवारने की कला। 44 नृत्य ज्ञान नृत्य कौशल में निपुणता पाने की कला। 45 गीत ज्ञान शास्त्रीय गायन में गहन ज्ञान पाने की कला। 46 तंडुल कुसुमावली विकार चावल और फूलों की रंगोली निर्माण की कला। 47 केशमार्जन कौशल्य तेल से मस्तिष्क की मालिश करने की कला। 48 उत्सादन क्रिया तेल से अंगों की मालिश करने की कला। 49 कर्णपत्र भंग फूलों और पत्तियों द्वारा कर्णफुले बनाने की कला। 50 नेपथ्य योग मौसम के अनुसार वस्त्रालंकार को परिधान या चयन करने की कला। 51 उदकघात जल विहार करना रंगीन पानी से पिचकारी बनाने की कला। 52 उदकवाद्य पानी से भरे बर्तन को वाद्य साधन के तहत ध्वनि निर्माण करने की कला। 53 शयर्चना बिस्तर को सजाने की कला। 54 चित्रकला नक्काशी वेलवुट्टी और चित्र आदि बनाने की कला। 55 पुष्पास्तरण फूलों को कलात्मक रूप से सजाकर बिस्तर बनाने की कला। 56 नाट्याख्यायिका दर्शन नाटकों में अभिनय करने की कला। 57 दशम स्नांगरात दांत कपड़े शरीर को रंगना या सजाने की कला। 58 तुर्क कर्म चरखे पर सूत कताई की कला। 59 इंद्रजाल जादूटोना मंत्र तंत्र का ज्ञान और बाजीगरी की कला। 60 तक्षण कर्म लकड़ी पर नक्काशी बनाने की कला। 61 अक्षर मुष्टिका कथन कर पल्लवी के माध्यम से वार्तालाप करने की कला। 62 सूत्र तथा सूची कर्म, कपड़े पर धागे से रफू करने की कला, 63 म्लेच्छित कला विकल्प, परिभाषा ज्ञान की जानकारी हासिल करने की कला, 64 रत्नरौप्य परीक्षा, कीमती धातुओं और रत्नों का परीक्षण करने की कला। अगर आपको ये जानकारी अच्छी
Dr. Pratibha, I would like to have feedback, the response of these 64 colors quickly.
I'm speechless. This was new for me also, and I mean they have really taken the minutest and minutest of possible things that human can achieve, and totally. I mean, I didn't even know that there was a kala, but you know what? Surprisingly, there are. I think, have we lost Dr. Vikas?
No, I am here only.
Yeah, okay. Surprisingly, there were few of the things which we still kind of see it around, you know. For example, I just remember that animals को लड़ाने की कला जो अभी भी हम देखते हैं, you know, तो वो roosters को and hens and you know they make, so somewhere we do see these kind of things happening. Then वो गजरा बनाने की कला, it is still prevalent. We see, you know, nooks and corners, हमारे जो फूल बनाते हैं. But amazing, like what all they have taken. Even itne time pehle we used to make wines and all, like, you know, it's like amazing. As I told you, I'm speechless. Our participants.
May I say, excuse me, sir, may I
Yes,
say one
yes.
thing?
Yeah,
Yes,
please.
Purvi ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. This is Pallavi. Sir, I will relate with this thing with the 64 Kalai with the vocational education.
Correct.
Our ancient scholars are very intelligent. I think they have come to know the population will be increased when the society will be changed. So they have given the list of the 64 Kalai in the form of vocational education. Nobody can be unemployed. Similarly, our government is talking about the skill education. If you are no degree, your skill, you can be never be unemployed. So we can relate with this. I am relating with this point.
Very well said,
Yes.
Dr. Pallavi. And also, what I believe is that you know, these you very rightly said is vocational and
Education.
vocational education, and the government when it's like really promoting startups, na, that
Yes,
people
yes.
should become more of job givers rather than job takers, you know. So I think if we go through all these kalas, and if these kalas can be kind of rejuvenated again, you know, so people, you have very rightly said that people will be able to employ themselves. They'll be self-employed rather.
Yes.
Yeah, very well
Because-
put, Dr. Pallavi. Very nice.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Is a modern time. If you know the Shark Tank, is a very much related with that. This actually all the Kalines. Who they know the Vedas, who know the other history and the philosophy of the education.
Yeah.
I think they have collected and chosen from the our philosophy only.
It's
What
very-
is the actually significance and what is you can say the use of the Kalai.
Yeah. But it's so you know, intriguing to see that, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago, they took
Yes.
consider of the minutest kind of a kala. I mean, this is amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Vikas.
Thank you.
Yes. So this list is comprised of all the art, all the crafts. We have, you know, valued all the craftsmen as well. And as Pallavi ma'am mentioned, it is about the vocations as well. We all know about the Arthashastra, you know,
Dr.
by its
Vikas,
name.
Dr.
Yeah.
Vikas, you know, just to add one little thing that I was kind of read somewhere that told me that in the ancient times, many of the people then were nipun. They were really good with most of these kalas, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken, you know.
Yes.
So the population then, they were not like they would be. So it was expected that then the population should know like majority of the kalas, maybe even 64 kalas, you know. So that was the quality of population we had then. So it's so interesting. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Even our text says that Krishna was considered as the Almighty God because he was master of all these 64 kalas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, fine. If we talk about IKS, then we need to talk about education, we need to talk about all the arts, administration, law, justice, health, manufacturing, commerce, all these things, right? So we used to have all sort of knowledge. We always had this classification of every sort of knowledge, and we always considered, say for example, agriculture knowledge, medicinal knowledge, biodiversity related knowledge, the knowledge of art, all these things were considered as important life skills for each and everyone. There are two hand raised. Dr. Pratibha, should we allow them right now or after 10 minutes? I have,
You're almost done with your session, with your presentation. I think, sir, can we request you? We can just take your questions once
yes.
session is over, right?
Yes, one important thing which I want to discuss before we open the floor for the discussions. One more thing is there which I want to discuss. Kindly wait for 10 minutes maximum.
Sure. Yeah.
So all these things were there in our Indian system, and right now I am moving. It is about the health science, but I am moving to the six different types of sleep. Sleep is considered as the significant part of the psychology. If your psychological health needs to be in place, then your sleep should be very much, sound. But we have six different types of sleep in our text. That is amazing, right? So let's understand all these six types of sleep, because the moment we will understand about these six types of sleep, almost all the psychology part will be covered. So first one is considered as the tamo bhava. That is the sleep which is influenced by the guna tamas, right? Tamo is from the tamas gun, and we also understand that tamas is all about the lethargy, it is about the ignorance, and it is about the darkness, right? So this type of sleep is considered as the unconscious sleep, where the mind and body experience a state of inertia. That is the first part of the, first type of the sleep. Then we have Slesma Sambudva, uh, I'm not pronouncing it rightly, Sambud, Sambudbhava. That is the sleep which is caused by the dose, that is cough dose. And in this type of sleep, that is, that is influenced by the cough dose, it is about the, and as we all know that cough is related to the water and earth element. So this type of sleep is heavy sleep, restful, and it is something that rejuvenates the entire body. So this is the second type of sleep. Then the third type of sleep is about the uh, manaha saritasram sambudbhava. That is the sleep due to the mental fatigue. This type of sleep occurs when there is the mind is very much tired or exhausted, or uh, it is because of the overactive mind, and this sort of sleep actually leads you towards the stress or the um, mental situation, right? So actually this type of sleep comes from the word river sarita, which is flowing without the rest. So that is why this sleep is considered as the um, sleep which is actually induced by the mental strain. That is the third type of sleep. Then we have fourth type of sleep, which is affected by the external factors. So this is called as agantuki. this is the type of sleep which is, as I mentioned, that it is affected by the uh, outside factors. So, say for example, environment, say for example, noise, discomfort, or any sort of disturbances. And this sort of sleep is actually influenced by external elements, and it is not considered as the restful sleep. This is the fourth type of sleep. Then the fifth type of sleep is sleep due to the disease, right? This, for disease we have word that is called vyadhi. So this is affected by the vyadhi. And this sleep is associated with the physical disease or the physical unrest. So the pain, the disease is the reason behind this sort of sleep. And this type of sleep, in this type of sleep, it is considered as the sleep which is necessary for the healing. So this is the fifth type of sleep. And the sixth and last type of sleep is this sleep is due to the nature of the night. So this is called Ratri Swabhav Prabhav. Ratri, that is night, Swabhav, meaning the nature of the night, and that is Prabhav, that is the influence of this. So this type of sleep is natural actually, and it is because of the cycle of day and night. And the evening, the moment the sun rests, we start feeling sleepy, and no other factors are required, and this is the natural state of the sleep. So we have classified each and everything the way, we saw in the video that there are 64 kalas. Same way we have six types of different types of sleep which is there in our system. So apart from these six types of sleep, we also, in our ancient texts, we also talk about the Jagrat Avastha, that is the waking state. Then we also talk about the Swapna Avastha, that is the dreaming sleep. Then we also talk about the Sushupti, that is the deep sleep. Then we also talk about the Turiya Avastha, that is the spiritual sleep, in which you are aware, your mind is working, and you are still in the state of the relaxation. Then we have also, beyond the Turiya Avastha, that sort of sleep is also there. And then Pragya is also considered as sleep. Pragya, we all understand that it is a state of mind of meditation in which the thinking is not there, but in Pragya Avastha is also considered as the part of this restfulness. So this is what I wanted to talk today. And again, for the further reading part, there is a Swayam course on Indian knowledge system, again from Professor B. Mahadevan. And these are some of the additional reading which is there in front of you. This is what I wanted to discuss today. In the slides that I have skipped, actually, it talked about health science, in which cough, pith, and all those is was discussed in these slides. But I have skipped this part for today's session. So that was today's presentation. Now we can open the floor for discussion, for your feedback, and if you have any questions. Dr. Pratibha, I request you to take over.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Vikas. Another very interesting session on the social sciences with the IKS perspective. Very interestingly, you put forward that how, our roots of social sciences, they really go back to many, many years, thousands and thousands of years. Interestingly, we have never studied these subjects in isolation. We have always considered it as one structure, one organic whole, right? And how whatever was all the subjects that we are that you have kind of brought in life is something which was just not about material, but every time, some or the other spiritual aspirations were always attached to it. So whatever we did, the arth, and the four purusharths that we talk about, the dharma, arth, kam, moksha, all these things were very well integrated with all our system, whether you call it the social sciences and all. And the sources were definitely the Vedas and the Upanishads, the different Smritis and Dharma Shastras that we had. You discussed about Arthashastra, you discussed about the Buddhist and the Jain text, our Mahabharata, Ramayana. All of these, they were all the source of the different kind of subjects that we discussed today. So in a very succinct manner, again, you have, capsuled the very important aspects of the social sciences and how interestingly it really made me feel that what would have been the times then, like a very ideal kind of society then. So we had some hands raised, all our participants. Let's just hear from you. I'm sure you must be all bursting with a lot of information to be shared. We had 2 hands raised. If you could please ask your questions. We have Abhishek ji over here. Are there any specific sources to learn 64 kalas? How can one learn these kalas? Interesting, even I would want to know them. So, Dr. Vikas, are there any sources? Do we have some? I mean, these are the kalas which probably not all of them can be, but of course, we do have a lot of institutions that do take these as vocational courses. Dr. Vikas?
I'm not sure actually, because in today's time, especially in the south region of India, we have started to promote Sanskrit language, because all these texts are there in Sanskrit. So we are in the probably very initial stage of reviving our entire knowledge system. So I don't think that right now we have any place where we go and learn these 64 class, but I'm pretty sure that this will happen. This
No,
is
but
what I
also,
believe.
I can also kind of say that there are so many colors that are still there. They are prevalent, but we have not given them that kind of a dignity and all. For example, when the color of making flowers, for gajra and all these kinds of things, you see, I mean, it is still continuing. The art of making wine is continuing. There are so many other colors which I'm not remembering, but they are there. And like Miss Priya ji is saying that, madam, most of them even don't know the basics in Sanskrit, any basic courses. Yeah. So I guess, this is a very, very initial stages of, reviving the Indian knowledge system. So when I was attending one of the courses, I was told that, a lot of Sanskrit texts are being translated in various languages in order to really understand that how, things can be revived. So what are the difference between Kala and Vigyan from IKS perspective? Chandra Das is asking us, Vikas, is there a difference between Kala and Vigyan from IKS perspective?
In IKS perspective, as far as I understand, I know, the classification which is there in the Western thought about the science, that is not there in our Indian system. The moment we do something, with that spirit of inquiry, or what we say, the moment we start understanding the layers of anything, that is considered as the Vigyan. And in the Western thought, these hard sciences and soft sciences, all these things are there. But in our system, we considered the science. Even we talked about the science of life, right? So in the perspective of science, I believe that that spirit of knowing anything with utmost clarity, with system and the process, that is considered as science. That is what I personally believe.
True,
I'm
true.
not claiming that this is the final answer, but this
No,
is
no,
what
I think
I
it's,
have understood.
yeah, you very rightly said that there is a difference between Kala and Vigyan. Vigyan means science, right? A very systematic knowledge, which has, logical, rational, analytical understanding. So I think that is what science, and Kala is basically Kala, which calling it art, right? It is
Yes.
like a skill, a creative kind of application, right? So it's basically
Actually,
to
yes,
perform or to create something, isn't
yes,
it? Yeah. So,
yes.
Dr. Mohanji, this is what is our understanding, that Kala is expression and art. It is an applied form, and Vigyan basically is a very systematic, methodological way of understanding. So,
Yeah, yeah.
art is based on science. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Art is
Yeah.
art is basically based on the performance of expressions and such like that. But
Yeah.
science is basically based on the logic and calculations and
Correct.
Und
rationality.
Understanding
I think
life, actually.
yeah.
Science is to understand the life. And when we talk about the kala, it is about beauty, to make anything beautiful, to express it in such a way that it becomes beautiful. That is what kala is about.
Yeah. And
That is what I
I
am saying.
think,
Hello.
Mitu,
Hello.
yeah,
One
Pallavi
point.
madam, Pallavi madam, just a sec. Mitu
Yes.
Das is also saying that art is based on science, and it's very true that whenever we do something, it does have a science behind it. So it just doesn't happen on its own. There is a lot of, so sometimes there are subjects which are called as art and science, right? When we say that political science is a science, but it's also an art. So that way, yes, it can go hand in hand. Uh, Pallavi madam, yes, please
Yes,
share
yes.
your
I
insight.
want to, it's a very interesting discussion. I could not resist myself. Is a one line I want to add. Skill, what is actually we are talking about the kalai skill.
Correct.
Skill is that when we are performing a particular activity with the scientific style, because the all the kalai with the scientific style.
Yes.
Because when we are actually performing, it will not actually the come with the new style. Only one style is there. That is called the scientific style of the skill. When
Yeah.
we are performing one particular activity with this specific style, that is called skill.
Correct.
When
Yeah.
we are using the word science, is a scientific style.
Correct.
Scientific style is called the skill.
Yeah. So when we say what is kala, so we basically talk about an art, a
Yes.
skill, right? It's an
Skill.
art
When we are performing with a specific style, that is skill.
that is
Because
a
when someone is driving the car, I am taking the very light skill. Driving the car. Driving car is a skill.
correct.
What is the ABC? What is the accelerator? What is the brake? Because this is a science.
Correct. Yeah.
Skill
So
is based upon science.
right. So the driving part is the skill, but knowing the
Yes.
anatomy of the car would be a
Yes.
science, right?
When the
How we can perform the skill without science.
Yeah. So basically, when you say kala, which means kal, to perform, to create,
Mhm.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
gyan basically is very accurately like to analyze. It's basically to
Yes.
analyze knowledge, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. We have over here Gayatri ji, she says, very good session. Thank you so much. Abhishek ji saying, when we talk about the school of philosophy, there is Lokayat or Charvak Darshan. We also need discussion in it too. Yes, that's that. So that we have these two different kind of schools of thought, the Astika and the Nastika, school of thoughts. And Charvak does fall in the Nastika part of it. Yes, we will in our coming sessions, this also may be discussed. Maybe I can take it tomorrow in my session when we're talking on yoga. And we may take a little bit part of Charvak Darshan also. Um, we'll definitely do that, Abhishek ji. Yeah. Pallavi is a wonderful informative session. Thank you so much. This becomes wonderful session only because of you all, because we bring something on the table, and then it's fun to see that all of you all also share your information. So this was really very beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much, Abhishek ji. Do we have any other new understanding. I mean, it is always, good to add to the knowledge. And that's
Jacinta ma'am has raised her hand.
who has raised?
Jacinta ma'am.
Yeah. Madam, are you
Yes.
there?
Ma'am, you may unmute yourself.
I don't see any hand raised over here, Vikas.
No, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was a good session, ma'am. I learned a lot from this session, especially like skill and color, the difference you have explained the way you have explained. It was very nice, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think even Dr. Vikas, the sleep part was very interesting for me. I think I'm going to take this and study a little bit further, because sleep is something which is very important and very dear to all of us. We better have a nice sleep, which is the Ratri sleep, and not the other sleeps that you mentioned. We don't want stress sleep and we don't want the disease sleep. So I think we must study a little bit more on the sleeps, because it will help us that way. Chandana Das, you saying, sir, is cultivation or agriculture an art or science? I think agriculture is an art and also the science, I believe, because your inputs to it.
Agriculture is more considered as the science.
Yeah.
In Indian context, it is considered as the science. Even if we understand the difference between the Gyan and Vigyan, then Gyan is all about general knowledge. All sort of information processing, all these things are there in Gyan part. But the moment we talk about Vigyan, then it is a systematic, methodological approach. And agriculture was considered for cultivation. It was considered as the science.
Yeah. So, yes, this is our two inputs to it. We can, in this 1 hour session, we can just highlight things. Otherwise, it is for us to now dive into the sea of knowledge and see what we can gain out of it. So I think this was a wonderful session, Dr. Vikas. Thank you so much for, highlighting the important parts of IKS from, social science from IKS perspective. So thank you so much for that. All our participants over here, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you over here. We see you tomorrow.